So I have this theory about Walmart, and a lot of people actually don't like Walmart. It sort of triggers people. It's one of those sort of sensitive issues if you talk openly about Walmart. And I think the reason why we don't like Walmart is because it smacks you with reality of who we actually are and what we are like. If you think about what they tried to do, it tries to reflect reality, it tries to reflect us. And as we go into Walmart and we look around, we look at people that are just like us. There's nothing aspirational about the people that go to Walmart. It's just ordinary people. And when you see ordinary people doing their ordinary thing, a lot of people don't like it. And I think if we want to make any sort of significant changes deep down inside, we need to start looking at our Walmart self. We need to start looking at who we actually are rather than the aspirational thing that we want to become. And once we start looking at that, we start thinking about, this is me. This is what we look at. This is reality. You know, I'm overweight. I am not as pretty as I think I am. I have not as much clothes as I think I do. All of these things are a reflection of who I am as an individual. And when I come to terms with that and I think about, this is me, this is what Walmart is, this is me inside of Walmart, then all of a sudden, you know, I start thinking and making adjustments in terms of what I really am deep down inside. We're all just kind of plain and ordinary, just like everybody else. And even though we want to become this ideal person, or we have this sort of aspirations and what we look like and who we want to become, when you look in the mirror and it's reflecting back at you, you see who you actually are. We're ordinary, we're plain, we're blemished, we have all sorts of limitations. We don't look the way that we think we actually look in the world around us. And I think the more that we realize this and we take a step back and we become more ordinary, the more that we actually make significant strides in us. When I accept the fact that I have limitations, that those limitations are not really limitations, those are my traits. When I accept that I cry every once in a while because of something that happens to me, and I just say, hey, this happened to me, that's when I become okay with myself, rather than thinking I'm somehow weak or I am not the ideal person that I think I am deep down inside or other people perceive me as. But when I realize that I'm just messy, I'm a nobody just like everybody else, just wandering through in a Walmart store, wandering up and down those aisles aimlessly with really no direction, and sort of figuring out that, hey, you know what, this is slightly cheaper than this thing, and I'm just ordinary, just an ordinary person. When I figure that out and I realize that I'm no different than anybody else, that's when I start accepting some of the things that I am deep down inside. And I struggle with that all the time. I think of myself in high regard, just like you think of yourself in high regard. And I struggle with coming to terms with who I am inside. But the more that I've realized that, wait a minute, you know what? I do cry once in a while. I do struggle with interpersonal communication with other people, like really basic things. Then I'm okay with who I am. And if I acknowledge that, if I know that, yeah, you know what, I do have a lot of things I feel very inferior about for whatever reason, I just do. Well, then I start to embrace those things. And I can go and all of this sort of look at the backstories and think about all the different people that are at Walmart and why they became to where they became. Well, ultimately, that's who we are right now. We are the people of Walmart. We are those people. And when we come to terms with that and we think like, I'm okay to be a person of Walmart. I'm okay to be around ordinary people because I myself am ordinary. I not only raise everybody else up because I feel like I fit in, but also I feel like I'm normal. I'm adjusted. I'm just plain ordinary me. And I think as we start thinking about that, and you start walking around Walmart or the world around us, and you start looking at us as just ordinary, just plain, that's when you start to come to terms with you as a person and what you mean as a person inside. So embrace Walmart. That's us. That reflects us in reality. That's who we are. We're often not pretty. We're often not within a certain mold of how we should be, and we behave in really unusual ways often when we're there and at home. But that's what it means to be human. Start embracing it. I think we can come a long ways if we start embracing our Walmart self, because that's who we really are. We're not somehow some ideal version of our Walmart self. We're Walmart. That's it. Ordinary, plain. That's us. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.